Thank you, Dominique, for having me. When she first told me she wanted me to be the scholarship recipient and get up here and read, I said, you know I only write smut, right? And she was like, hell yeah, get up there and do that. So since it's the day after Valentine's Day, I'm going to read you a little dirty vignette that I've been working on, and I hope you like it. I need to get closer to this, Dallas. There we go. Much better. It feels like you're fucking us both, she says, lying curled in the crook of his arm, one hand on my hip as I ride her lover, straddling him wantonly like while she watches. He's a perfect gentleman, letting me use him, watching her, kissing her, her breasts sway in time to the motion of my up and down. It feels like having them both, though I'm not touching her. I had touched her. Fingers at the warm, wet center of her, rubbing at the place that means tightness, sighing, eyes closed. Too much and not enough. Thumb caressing her clit, her mouth on my cunt. Expert motions of tongue, proving that sex is intuition more than it is experience. Her first time, her millionth time, who cares? If I was a different kind of girl, I would say something about energy, connection, depth of intensity. The kind of girl I am just wanted more. When she rolls on her back, spreading her legs, the female smell of her hits me. The scent of something forbidden, earthy and sweet, saltwater creatures and citrus. Control lost entirely to this moment, I take the headboard in both fists, bouncing on the firmness of him hitting me deep and right. His cock all dangerously stiff, none of the ripe vegetable curve and softness of it at rest. Breathless, I hold her eyes in mine, the lovely curve of her, the soft to his hard, the sweeping roundness to his angular build, her impossible softness to his hairy chest, the two of them a unit of contrast and desires. They moan in time, I'm nearly silent, listening, taking them in, struck dumb by their openness, the amount of pleasure that's possible when three bodies tangle. So many combinations of touch, one hand on each of them, feeling the tension in their bellies as they ride, the sheen of sweat on us all. I'm desperate. For what? I don't know. Everything and nothing. There's something I'm reaching for, but I can't name it. Anyway, there aren't words to ask. Pre-verbal now, I join them in the sounds of delight. High moans and girlish grunts. My body shudders. Not ready to give myself over yet. Unable to voice my need, I reach out and take more. Run my fingers down the length of the olive skin of her stomach, tracing the marks of life that once lived inside of her, and finally to her furred mound. She arches to reach, begging for the obvious with her body as her mouth meets his. They kiss, tongues and lips and wetness. My hand a tease, pressure on her labia, massaging her folds, tenderly squeezing the delicate pebble of her clit between my digits. Fucking him, fondling her for a moment, I feel strangely alone, looking on from above as they lose themselves to one another, to the rhythm and rightness of the familiar. A pang of loneliness hits me. I don't know whether to cry or come. Then I think of her words and make them literal. Redoubling the efforts of riding him, I slip 2 fingers in her. No resistance as I enter. The slickness heady as I thrust into her in time to my movements upon him. I'm penetrated and penetrating, filled by him and filling her, the conduit between them, taking them both. Our wetness is the same. I angle my fingers the way his cock presses into me, feeling her squirm into them, forcing me deeper into her. It's too much. I come, crumbling in a heap against his chest, unwilling to stop fucking her as he takes over to butt his hips into me, thrusting like it's a competition, like one of us is gonna win. Somehow the three of us meet, a shared kiss, all tongues. My muscles spasm on him, she squeezes me. The force of my hand movements become an impossible effort while I'm this distracted. The room is filled with the smell of sex and most animal noises. I don't know who is coming or what limb belongs to whom. We're a pile of pleasures on either side of him, his chest a warm pillow, the arms he had used earlier to hold me down now cradling us close. Her breasts heave as we breathe in time, shallow and regular, our skin fevery warm. She smiles at me as our fingers play on one another, refusing to contemplate the melancholy of untangling ourselves. And yet, I begin the ritual of leaving. In this bed, I belong. I gave and took in equal amounts. I wasn't just the guest star. I was a third player rather than a third wheel. They will glide back into their life, the afterglow in sheets that smell of us, while I brave reality and the world alone, but a little less so. I got what I came for. Thank you.